Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the FV304. It's the Tier 6 British SPG, located on the north spawn of Lakeville, under the command of Jim Lee of SLPSE clan, or SLPSE. Game on! Well, part of the FV series of vehicles, supposed to be standardised vehicles designed after the Second World War. They actually started work on it in 1943. It was to make simple vehicles which were lightweight and could be used for multiple purposes. And this was one of the versions that was actually designed to be an Arty stroke tank destroyer. Okay, he's armed with a 4.5-inch howitzer. It's capable of doing 450 alpha, 28mm pen, 2.2 meters on the burst radius. Interestingly enough, the 4.5-inch is also the same howitzer that you normally find off the BT-42, which of course is a Finnish tank, a light tank with an Arty gun. Didn't get through the armor, but you can see the shell hit the turret. It's also, funnily enough, the same caliber that was used by naval vessels until just recently. And now they've swapped that. Yes, the guy who was my best buddy at university has changed the design of naval ships, and now they actually get a 57mm main gun and a 40mm anti-aircraft gun in two positions on the ship. Yes, my best buddy at university actually became an admiral. Yeah, he's the one who's actually responsible for now designing Royal Navy vessels. Yeah, we both entered the Royal Navy as well, but of course he was actually in the Royal Navy before he actually came to university, whereas I joined the Royal Navy afterwards, although I had been in the Sea Cadet Corps for a long time, worked my way all the way up to the top as an instructor. Okay, didn't get through the armor that time. You should be able to hit the OI. This Arty's got a very fast fire rate. Standard reload rate, 12.94 seconds, but you can see he's got 11.23 here. Lining up another shot on that M2Y, but he changes his mind, goes over to the OI instead, pumps around in, gets another hit. Gonna try it again. Well, didn't get anything off that one, but the OI is no longer. Unfortunately, the M2Y decided to poke its head around the corner and killed our KV2. And we just missed the M2Y there. Our Tiger's gone round as well, and he is now, unfortunately, kind of trapped. He's got the M2Y behind him, and he's just been wiped out. So we're going to have to relocate in order to protect ourselves. Yes, many people might wonder why I'm not in World of Warships, seeing as my naval background. Well, I think you could say the same about Jingles, because of course he started in World of Tanks as well, and then he moved over to World of Warships afterwards. I've never really found World of Warships to my liking, funnily enough. I actually much prefer the Arty on World of Tanks. Basically, World of Warships is like World of Arty at sea. Okay, changing position again because we're just a little too close. We did get spotted, and the enemy Artys decided to pay a visit. And since they've got an M44 as well as a FV, we have to move because the FV can fire over most of the map, but the M44 can fire all of the map. And he has got 500 alpha, so he could wipe us out fairly easily with one direct hit. Trying to get the rescue over target. He fires, makes the guy back away. Lining up another shot. Going for the engine deck. Oh, now he's chasing the target to try and get it on. And when he fires, the target pulls back. Sometimes it's easier to pick a spot and then allow the enemy to make the mistake of driving through that spot. Rounds out. That looked better, but unfortunately he managed to drive through it again. In fact, actually, whoa, no, he's still doing it. Something interesting you might laugh at actually is when I was at university, there was a group of us actually occupied the same student house at university, and every member of that student house was an officer in the armed forces, or was due to be an officer in the armed forces, and eventually became one. So it was rather unusual that we had so many all the same. So there was 2 members of the army, there was 1 Royal Marine, there was 6 of us in the Royal Navy, and there was 1 guy who became an RAF pilot. Yeah, we don't know about him. I suppose the less said about him. He actually flew Buccaneers in the end. Of course, Buccaneers were Royal Navy aircraft, but they were transferred to the Royal Air Force after we lost the carriers. Because, of course, we couldn't fly the Buccaneers off the short through flight deck cruisers, as they were known. Okay, box tank. We should be able to get a lot of hit points off this guy. We can get a pen. Oh, 152. It's getting close. The armor on the actual casement is actually very thin, so he should be able to get a pen. Rounds out. Oh, it went to the engine deck instead. 104. 2 more shots like that, he's out the game. You can see where it actually impacted right next door on the side of the engine deck. That was actually on the engine deck, and now he's a 1-shot. So the next shell will put this guy out the game. Rounds out, and here's the kill. So we've just got hit by the M44, but it was actually a near miss just in front of us. So we're changing position again. This vehicle isn't as maneuverable as it used to be. A long time ago, it was very, very maneuverable. In fact, it was so maneuverable you could actually drive up to an enemy tank, sit alongside that tank underneath the tank's gun depression, and troll them by pumping rounds into their side when you'd reloaded. In fact, as Jingles said, it was the death by 1,000 cuts. Now, he did actually hit the target there. He's just fired another one in, but he looked away, and we didn't get to see if that last shot did impact the target. I think it did, because I didn't see any explosion in the distance, and that's normally the telltale sign that he actually did get a hit. We're 1 down on the enemy. Their Valiant is sitting around the corner, but he's being held off by our Basotto. You can see he's trying to get a shot. He can reach the Valiant, actually. Just going to give it a go. Unfortunately, he does the same again and looks away after he fires. So we've no clue if that hit the target or not. Now, I think he did hit this one the last time. Let's see if he can do it again. He fully dials in, watches. Beautiful shot right on the engine deck. Thank you for staying to watch that one. We got to see it was right on target, and it hit the weakest part of the vehicle. The cover over the engine deck is normally very thin because it has to let all the heat escape from the engine, but they normally have all the vents and the openings. So he's gone back to having a look at that Valiant. We're now 1 up on the enemy. They've still got both their Arty, but that will change soon because we've got a couple of guys moving up and getting closer. The Basotto's done a fantastic job holding off that Valiant. Okay, we're aiming a little closer there. There's the Valiant. Now, previously we landed the shell fairly close. Oh, he's still reversing. Yes, he doesn't want to get too close, but he wants to get close enough that he can actually land the shell on top of the Valiant over the top of the mountain. Now he's styling in to get it absolutely perfect. Valiant's taken up a defensive position. Oh, he knew the shell was coming, but it didn't stop it hitting. And now he's off, changing position again, trying to get out of range. We fire 1 snap. Very close. Very close, but not close enough. I think we're going to have to go all the way up. The Basotto's moved down. He actually has got the kill now. I was going to say it would be a good idea if Jim Lee was to actually move into the valley and start taking shots at that guy. But now we're off to the races because, and I think we should have gone to the east of the lake, not to this side, mainly because he wants to have a bit of range between him and the enemy, because there's a chance that it might be difficult. He might have to lob shells over the rocks, and he won't be able to do that. Oh, nice squeeze. Ooh, yeah, that's difficult to get through there sometimes. And goes past the wreck of the T-25-2 that he caused. This is where he's going to find it a bit difficult. He might need to turn to the left here, go down into the dip. No, shouldn't go around there. No. Again, he's on an upslope, which means his gun's pointing up into the air. Makes it difficult to shoot at short range. Now, the enemy is actually hiding in that corner. The Basotto is going to force one of them to shoot, and he might expose himself then. The AMX CLC doesn't want to get too close. We could go into the cap circle now. And there's the enemy Basotto. He's now been spotted. We can't get shots on them. It's just too close, actually. And in fact, actually, he's not worried about that because he's actually going to go in there and get shots. Close range, going for the shotgun. He does. Oh, he gets a lovely hit for 196. Unfortunately, we lose our Basotto, but he's going to go for it. He's going to put one, direct it on target, and he does, and kills him to win the game. Very nicely done by Jim Lee. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first ace tanker for Jim Lee of SLPSE in the FV304. Congratulations. He's broken his duck. That is the scroll that means this is the first ace you've seen. He's also got a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 14. Got a gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And on top of that, he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall. His win rate was 6,858, which is Super Unicum standard. So very well done indeed. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage was 2,521 hit points. Second highest damage was that M2Y on the enemy team, who got 2,146, followed by their T-34-100, who managed to get 2,100 hit points. When it came to kills, he had the highest of those as well, but he shared it with the Basotto on his own team and the Basotto on the enemy team. And in second place, the Tiger P got 2, so did the M10 RBFM and the KB2. And on the enemy team, their M2Y and their box tank both got 2 kills. When it came to base XP, it's Jim Lee again. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 934 went to Jim Lee, 906 went to the Tiger P, 841 went to the M10 RBFM. He fired 32 rounds in that game. You have 75 rounds overall, so you've got plenty of ammunition to play with. 21 direct hits, 1 penetrating shot, and 22 splash. So can we guess which one he actually penetrated in this game? Well, I would have thought it would have been the box tank, but actually, in fact, no, it wasn't the box tank. And I think it might be the Basotto. No, it's not the Basotto. It was actually the C-25-2. Yes, that lovely hit that he fired onto the engine deck went straight through it. 632 hit points of damage overall. He also got 2,521 altogether, 1,519 of which was at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit by way of splash damage from the M44. It was very close, but it was splash nonetheless. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and on a premium count, he earned a profit of 32,913 credits for the game, 25 bonds for mission achievement, and 3,502 experience points out of the game as well. So a very good victory, a first ace tanker, not the first of many, I think, for Jim Lee. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.